Welcome to another episode, everyone. So Trump's regime is proudly supporting a Nazi agenda. They are not hiding the fact that they are racist demagogues and fascists. The Trump regime, J.D. Vance has doubled down on racism and being a Nazi. He has indeed. Let's get into it. Jennifer Welch here from the I've Had It News podcast. This other lady here. They constantly dismantle and destroy Trump and Trump's regime. We're going to get into these two individuals soon enough. But I love Jennifer Welch here. She really is a stand-up individual, very smart, very articulate, and she calls them all out. And we're going to be getting into a lot of her and her positions on this. But here it is. Trump's regime proudly owns Nazi agenda, and Dem leaders back ICE. They back ICE right there. The Dem leaders, Democrats, they're backing up ICE. Of course, the Democrats have no backbone, none whatsoever. They have no backbone. We know that because they voted to have a day of remembrance or recognition for Charlie Kirk, Cory Booker, Hakeem Jeffries. They have no backbone. They need to be out of office. We have to get them all out of there, but let's get into it.
So many people fell for it. So many people thought, oh, Tucker Carlson's finally getting it. Yes, he's getting it. He's speaking out against Venezuela. He is criticizing Donald Trump. It's all bullshit. It's all theater. He is a con man, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene, just like some of these other MAGA influencers and MAGA politicians. The only thing they're doing is trying to appeal to components of the cult during this lame duck, or should I call it dementia duck, tenure of President Dipshit. Here we have Tucker Carlson, who last week was with Megyn Kelly.
Oh, Jennifer be killing me. She cracked, boy, look here. She does not hold back. She's just like me. She does not hold back at all. Dementia. She talking about Trump. She be on his ass. And he needs every bit of it. And the people who support him, the foolish people who would support Donald Trump. Wow.
Criticizing Venezuela policy. We even did a video on it. Oh my God, Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson are criticizing Trump. It's all bullshit. Play the clip. Here's Trump last Friday walking through the White House for his big sit down with Big Oil. And there is Tucker Carlson, shit-eating grin, ear to ear, clapping like a goddamn seal. The MAGA media influence has no conviction. They have no courage in their conviction. It's all theater. It's all staged. It's all for clicks.
Cowards.
They don't care.
Backbone.
And they like every single thing that this man is doing.
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing tech, but this Ridge one quickly became a favorite. So this, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery that's already this small, is pretty clutch. But
you know, here's the thing about these MAGA influencers. He's sitting there, he's Tucker Carlson being he's so proud that he's there and he's clapping for Donald Trump, and he goes on his podcast and, may bash him or whatever. Then you see the private text messages during the Dominion lawsuit. We saw how much he hates Trump. He despises him. He thinks he's the worst, but it goes back to, I can have personal gain. I might be able to salvage part of the MAGA base to come with me if doing what I want to do. The proximity to power. They have zero ability to think about anybody but themselves. I mean, it is a cult of insecure men that think they're alpha males, that all they think about is themselves. It's unbelievable that he would be
Fake
sitting there clapping and going on and on
really
after all the shit he's talked about him. That would be like if you and I were clapping for Jesse Waters when he walked by. That's how he talks about Donald Trump, the way we talk about Jesse Waters. And there is just no ability to feel shame or hypocrisy, to know I am a fucking hypocrite if I go in there and do that, because it's all about what more can I get for me.
Isn't this a hallmark of MAGA, though? Isn't this every single MAGA politician, even personal MAGA people we know? Aren't they all exactly like Tucker Carlson is here? I don't think it's unbelievable. It's the most believable thing I've ever seen because these MAGA people are just like this. J.D. Vance, Trump is America's Hitler. Oh my God, lower the temperature. Don't call us Nazis. Wah. I mean, this is the most performative cult, authoritarian cult of personality. And it's just the only thing that's new about this is that it's happening in the United States of America. And now you guys in this year of 2026, last year they were kind of like, don't call us white nationalists. That's mean. And you guys are all Antifa terrorists. Well, now like the mask is off. The oligarchs are full blown. The tech oligarchs are being far more white nationalists. The Palantir owners, it's just some very disturbing stuff. Elon Musk, the mask, first he was like, it wasn't a Nazi salute. Now he's just full blown retweeting all of this horrible anti-Semitic stuff all over Twitter. And now the regime itself is copying Nazi propaganda verbatim.
Yeah, so of course she's saying that at first Elon Musk denied being a Nazi, a racist. And when he got caught with the Nazi salute, said that it was something other than that. But now he's not even hiding the fact anymore. He's making all of these comments and posts on Twitter that are anti-Semitic.
Across so many of their accounts, pop this up. So the Homeland Security, of course, that's Kristi Noem. We'll have our home again. Join ICE.gov. And Melanie D'Argio says, this isn't a coincidence. They posted this because it is from a famous far-right white nationalist folk anthem. They'll complain that they're called racists and fascists while going out on their way to make sure people know they're racists and fascists. And this is a really important part of all of this for me, of our resistance. So there is wokeness and the language police, and that can be very annoying, okay? And some of this MAGA stuff is a backlash from that, from the Black president, wealth inequality, et cetera. But now we have moved from wokeness to dark wokeness. And you should call every triple Trumper in your personal life because change starts locally, folks. Every triple Trumper, every person you know who still supports this man and votes for this regime, they are racists, they are fascists, and they are white nationalists. There are no caveats. There are no yes, but. There are no exceptions to this. This isn't politics as normal and we disagree about taxes or we disagree about abortion or we disagree about minor issues in the voting block. These people want other people rounded up, shot in the face, put in concentration camps, and all of this messaging about our homeland and our homeland. This is implicitly white nationalist Nazi propaganda, and it's all.
And you had better believe it. And you had better wake up. This is white nationalist propaganda. This is a white nationalist, right-wing, fascist, racist regime. The Trump administration, all of them, they do not like black people. They do not like Mexican people. They do not like poor white people. Believe that. They are running and ruining the country and trying to turn everyone into fascists. This is their objective. We have to be smart and fight back against this tyranny.
Our government, the United States of America, with the people who still support this regime, they are the Nazis, they are the fascists, and they are the titty babies.
She said it, not me, man. It's coming from a white woman who said anyone who supports the Trump administration, you are a white nationalist, you are a fascist, you are a racist. Let me know in the comments if you agree with her. Jennifer Welch, the white woman who just said that if you support Trump, if you are a triple Trumper, meaning you've been voting for him and doubling down on Trump from the beginning 3 different times, then you are a sellout. You are a nationalist, a white supremacist, a fascist, a demagogue. This is what she said if you vote for him, because it's not about, as she said, abortion. You know, we're not disagreeing on things that can be resolved. We're talking about people who want human beings dead in order to maintain their power. And this is something that everyone should be against. We're not talking about the politics of it all, that they're taking food stamps and you agree with that or you do not agree with that. We're not talking about the differences in the minute politics. We're talking about the power to take someone's life, the incentive to take someone's life, wanting to take someone's life, the motivation to take someone's life, and then taking someone's life to further your own Nazi agenda. And if you vote for this, and indeed, I agree, you support that agenda. Shame on you.
Is that when you call them what they are and you put a mirror to their face, they freak out and claim, oh, wow, we're victims of these horrible white liberal women with their microphones calling us exactly what we are. And I will not stop doing it because I believe in human rights. I believe in universal human rights. I don't give a fuck if somebody's an American citizen or not. Torturing and bullying people and shooting people's faces off in the streets of America. You white Christians, you triple Trumpers with your, I like his tax policy. I don't like his personality, Donald Trump, but I sure do love his policies. Well, you telling me that you love his policies tells me that you're a fucking sociopathic Nazi. That's what it tells me. And this is how you know.
That's what it tells me too, people. You sociopathic fucking Nazis. That's what you are. And we're going to call you out on it. It's going to be uncomfortable for you. Don't subscribe to this channel. Get out of here if you can't take it. For real. I ain't worried about it. This channel is going to go up. It's going to do what it do. Because I'm finna call all this shit out. Changing the name, by the way, to reactionary politics. That's going to be the name of this channel. Instead of politics left and right, which is cool. I could have went with all things politics or politics as usual. What's going to be my thing? Politics as usual. The homie came up with all things politics for his channel. Bub, check it out, all things politics. But I think reactionary politics would be more fitting for what I'm doing over here, even though I'm going to get deep into these reactions that I'm doing and give my opinion as well. And we're going to uncover a lot of corruption. That is America. Reactionary politics.
All of the MAGA, if you hear Megyn Kelly, if you hear some of these right-wing podcasters criticize some of the policies of Donald Trump, they're able to do so because the strong man is not strong anymore and he's frail. And so they're able to pick on that frailty in a way, but they never pick on this guy, ever. Put this up. Stephen Miller, the Nazi extraordinaire, he says, he tweets this yesterday, Americans voting overwhelmingly for mass deportation. Congress passed laws requiring it and then passed new legislation to fully fund it. The response of the Democrat Party and its activists has been to support and orchestrate violent resistance against federal law enforcement. If these MAGA personalities were serious, if Marjorie Taylor Greene were serious, there would be a lot of critiques about such a 1,000% false and Nazi propaganda tweet from the person that everybody in the White House calls Donald Trump's boss and Mr. Prime Minister. But he does all of this stuff with impunity, all of it with impunity.
It's just the lying and the propaganda from Stephen Miller. And what's interesting to me is this is anecdotal, but the people that I know that are in the MAGA sphere think he is so gross. Yet he has to be out front all the time. They give Donald Trump a pass because they blame it on Stephen Miller, and not realizing that Donald Trump should have the authority to fire Stephen Miller. But nobody pushes back on Stephen Miller because they know he's in charge. MAGA knows it, like a congressman. They know that Stephen Miller is calling all the shots. You read article after article after article about it. So pushing back on Stephen Miller would be worse than pushing back on Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is worried about the ballroom and his new, the marble slabs. He's not worried about this, but Stephen Miller, he's one cruel motherfucker that's diabolical, and he will come after these people, and he'll tell Trump, get on your live social and post about these people. So
Let's face it, don't we all think Stephen Miller is the one typing up the True Social posts? I mean, what I see, this man is, he's so handled. Donald Trump is so handled, and everybody around him knows exactly how to play him. Mm-hmm. They know exactly how to stroke the ego to get everything on. He is the most manipulated man in the world, Donald Trump, surrounded by a bunch of depraved Nazis that have real ambitions for the United States to be this white nationalist regime. The problem Stephen Miller is going to face after Trump is dead, I'm hoping it's a huge trial and imprisonment, but if the MAGA movement survives, the main problem he's going to face is he's a Jewish man, and a lot of the money behind the Supreme Court and the Heritage Foundation and Big Oil and all of these things, they're Christian nationalists. And so for Stephen Miller to think that he's going to be
which means that you're not going to take charge. They're not going to allow you to take charge. It does not matter how powerful you are, how much money you have. If you're not of their ilk, you're not one of them, you are not going to take charge of their aspirations. They're not going to relegate that power to you. They're just not going to do it. You're going to find that out the hard way, though. That if you're not one of them, then you're not one of them.
Safe around all of these white nationalist Nazis. I have news for you. They include the Jews in people they wish to deport. Just go look at who Elon Musk follows, all of these white nationalist Nazis, and read their tweets. And they're very implicit that, we're going to do all of these deportations, and that includes the Jews. I mean, it's just horrible, horrible stuff. And so that's going to be something that he's going to, come head on with. And it's just, wow. Speaking of horrible people, Bill Ackman is a billionaire who was always a Democrat, had always donated to Democrats. And after October 7th, he goes full tilt MAGA. And he's the one who writes these long, drawn out, horrific tweets online. Will not shut the fuck up. He sends the murderer, the guy who murdered Renee Good, $10,000 on GoFundMe. My question is, why does this murderer need a GoFundMe?
Right.
So, or is this just congratulations money? So here we have William Ackman, and he reposted the fundraiser on his Twitter. And then you can look here, the top donor is William Ackman, and he gave $10,000. And this to me is something that parallels with the problem with.
Look at all that. $10,000, he raised $105,000. The killer, the murderer that murdered Renee Nicole Good, the mother of three, shot her in the face 3 times. Bill Ackman, the billionaire, donated $10,000 to her. Anonymous donated $5,000 to her. Anthony Burkholder donated $1,000 to her. Another anonymous donated another $1,000. And the list goes on, all the way to $105,000. The man accused, or should be accused, should have to fight a murder charge, though he won't. This is America.
Corporate Democrats.
This is your America.
Follow me here. Bill Ackman voted as a Democrat, was a Democrat, but he was a corporate Democrat. It was my pocketbook, my money, but I don't want to be mean to the gays. More civilized about his money than, say, the right-wing Christians are. And just like that, he flipped. Just like that. And now he is a foot soldier for Donald Trump, when 3 years ago, he was not a Trumper. And now he is a total Trumper, giving a cold-blooded murderer $10,000. And this is why people that don't have conviction in politics cannot be trusted. This is why we sniff out the Cory Bookers of the world who can feign conviction, and then when confronted about dying and executed Palestinian children, gets blurry. And I think that this is a lesson in this whole thing here, is when you see people that are, oh, I'm a moderate, both sides are extreme, they're so malleable to either one of these. Like, I have more respect for the Trump cultist that lives in rural America, that's been left over, got a shitty American education, and really believes that this man is the patriot that they think he is, than I do the country club Republicans or corporate Democrats that allow for a lot of egregious human rights violations to happen in their day-to-day lives, and they never speak up on it, ever. So I just thought that was wild. And then after that pumps, Bill Ackman gets online. He's kissing Trump's ass all the time. Pop this up. So this is Ronald Reagan's budget director, David Stockman. Ronald Reagan, you guys, of the Republican Party. He tweets Bill Ackman and says, hey, Bill, stop kissing his ass. When it comes to economics, he's an unhinged world gig of statist humbug, hoodoo, and ham-handed hammering of free markets and economic liberty. The very idea of government intervention in the credit card market is neither worthy nor important. It's just a stupid attempt to address the real affordability problem that is caused by massive deficits and endless money printing at the Fed, both of which the Donald wants more of. The truth is, there is absolutely nothing redeeming about the dog's breakfast of protectionism, easy money, Keynesian deficits, and crony capitalism that passes for Trump-onomics. So obviously, Bill Ackman is a prick, and even Ronald Reagan's inner circle thinks he's a prick. But Bill Ackman is not alone. This type of person that rides the middle, that can easily be swayed, no conviction, none, no conviction. That is my biggest pet peeve.
No backbone.
So many stars are in the making at SCAD. Students like you find
Seems like every year for decades, my number one resolution was weight loss. And with so many options for weight loss treatment plans, it can be hard to know what's the best choice. Through hers, which is a great to themselves and getting what they want. But they don't give a flying fuck about anybody else. And I really do. I keep rolling in my head. What does this man need this money for? They said in that little thing, it said, well, his family has to go into hiding because of the radical left. Bullshit. I think this is for a lawyer, I would think. But I mean, does it not amaze you? I mean, if you're Bill Ackman and you know that she was murdered and you're
probably not going to file any charges whatsoever on Jonathan, the murderer. They're not going to file any charges on him. Watch. He's not going to need a lawyer. They're giving him $100,000 as a gift. Good shot. That's what that $100,000 is for. Good shot. You hit her all 3 times in the face. Good shot, man. That's what that GoFundMe is for. It's not for a lawyer.
Smart enough. I mean, he has critical thinking. He's a dipshit and he's a prick, but he has critical thinking. he was so blatant to do it because he wants Donald Trump's, favoritism from him, which of course I'm sure he'll get because he has money. But it's just these people 10 years from now, that's still going to be on the fucking internet. You still put money in a GoFundMe of somebody that murdered an innocent woman. It's just the short-sightedness really surprises me.
Yeah. And I think what the problem with Bill Ackman is he's able to suspend critical thinking. And where does this come from? Where does this suspension of critical thinking come from? How could he have been rational, and then suddenly suspend critical thinking? And I'll tell you exactly what it is. He's a hardcore Zionist. And when you are able to critically think about so many things, and then when you get to one subject, say, oh, it's fine that the IDF is doing a genocide. It's fine that the IDF is bombing schools and hospitals. And then he suspends critical thinking. It's not that big of a jump if you're able to demonize people at some part of your brain. If you make space for that somewhere, then you then start making more space and more space and more space and more space. So this beautiful woman, Renee Good, with her wife and her dog in the back car, exercising their First Amendment right. It's not that big of a stretch for Bill Ackman to then keep moving the goalpost and keep moving the goalpost. And that's the fool's errand of the Zionists. That's the fool's errand of a lot of these people in the MAGA movement. You think you're the special one. Right. And you think your groups of people are these special groups of people. And when you compromise anybody's humanity and you compromise anybody's human rights, then the goalposts keep moving, and then you allow for more and more and more depravity. And I think this has, been well studied in, other fascist regimes in Nazi Germany. And we are at the beginning stages of this police state, and these oligarchs, particularly Bill Ackman, is showing exactly where he stands with this. And he stands on the side of fascists and Nazis, which is interesting, considering one of his big motivating forces is Israel, and considering the way Hitler started operating in the early stages of his Nazi regime is just like this, sending people door to door, shooting people. And the fact that some people are not connecting this and advocating for the Renee Goods of the world and advocating for those, we covered earlier, these kids, these American citizens.
And advocating for the Keith Porters of the world, because everybody's talking about Renee Nicole Good, rest in peace to her. She didn't deserve to die. I want everyone to remember that Keith Porter Jr. was also brutally murdered by ICE agents on December 31st. Some say January 1st. Other reports said December 31st. Allegedly, he was shooting a gun in the air, and they pulled up and gunned him down. Say his name, and let's support him and his family and stand up. They're killing black men out here on the streets as well, these ICE agents. But no one, of course, is talking about Keith Porter and his situation. They're only talking about Renee Nicole Good, but this is the American way and the American media apparatus. A racist entity.
The people at CCOT, the people at Alligator Alcatraz, the people that have cancer that are in ICE custody, and you don't advocate for them, then you're just a fucking monster. You're no different than the Nazis. And that's something that's going to be heartbreaking as we move forward in this country, is to just see how many people are this depraved. And I want to leave you all with one thing that I think is super duper important. The Democratic Party.
These white supremacists are depraved. They're Nazis. They're sick. If you're one of them, I'm talking to you. You're sick. I don't rock with you at all. Don't rock with me. I don't rock with you at all. I'm not with you. I'm all the way against you. I feel like it's a good day for a revolution.
Party goes the way of John Roberts and just rubber stamps all of this shit. Pop this up, Kylie. Schumer and Jeffries refused to back growing Democratic calls to defund ICE amid
Chuck Schumer, another one, another piece of shit. He's another old, he's past his time, past his prime, and he should be out of there. They have no backbone. Not surprised that it's Jeffries again, Hakeem Jeffries, refused to back growing Democratic calls to defund ICE. Everybody wants ICE out of here, out of the communities, trying to defund them, get them out of here. These dudes they're not backing it up. Whose side are you on? They're not to be trusted. Chuck Schumer, Cory Booker's, Hakeem Jeffries, amongst others.
Outrage over the killing of Renee Good, Democratic leaders are declining to use their leverage to fight the agency. We do not have an opposition party. We do not have people that will stand up to the Bill Ackmans of the world. We don't have people that will stand up to the Benjamin Netanyahus of the world. We have corporate Democrats who have the same donors as MAGA. And in my opinion, there's no difference in what Hakeem Jeffries and Chuckles are doing right now than what John Roberts did when he rubber stamped the immunity for the president of the United States. There are passive ways of going along with this, and there are aggressive ways of going along with this. And at this point, any passive capitulation, in my opinion, is aggressive. All right, that's all we have for this episode.
Yeah, there you have it, man. As I said, Jennifer Welch there, very smart, political, against this fascist regime, as I am. So we'll continue to cover this. But yes, Schumer, these individuals constantly capitulate. They constantly acquiesce and bow down. They have no backbone. They do not stand up for their constituents whatsoever. We have to drive them out of office. We are the people that hold the power, not the politicians. We put them in power. They're there to work in our interests, and that's it. And these individuals now are trying to fight for, preserve, maintain, further a white nationalist regime, a racist, human flesh-mongering regime is what they're trying to preserve. And they must be stopped. That's it. And these Democrats are not helping because they have no backbone. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Stay safe, stay free, and power to the people.